On this episode of Goofing Off,
Flappy Bird has come and gone. We take a look at its meteoric rise and sudden crash.
we step back into the world of The Last of Us with our review of the Left Behind DLC.
And our movie snobs stomp out crime in Detroit when they see RoboCop. Welcome to another episode of Goofing Off. I'm Zach Kuznick.
And I'm Leigh Ann. So Zach, what'd you do this weekend?
Nothing really. Played some video games. Why would you do?
I became an official member of the Herd, the Nerd Herd.
Leigh Ann, they are just being nice to you. You don't meet the criteria.
Don't be jealous. Just watch what happened earlier today when I visited the Nerd Herd.
So if you could choose out of any of the superheroes, who would you say is your favorite?
Batman.
That would be Hank Pym.
Thor.
Superman.
If you could have any superpower, what would you want?
To fly.
Superpower? That would probably have to be, let's see, it'd probably be the Gray Hulk's power, because I would still like to have the Hulk's power, but with the intelligence of a man and not lose control.
I'm probably gonna have to go with the healing factor like Wolverine.
Because when you fly, you don't got to worry about no car gas. You don't got to worry about making no plane trips. But you still got to watch out for airplanes sometimes because you don't want to crash through them and signs like that. So
I think I would have the superpower to have any power that I want.
I like the idea of not having to worry about getting hurt at all. And even if you do, I've lost my arm. That's good. We're good.
and depending on who you are, you can go outer space. Like Superman, he can, and other superheroes, they go outer space because they can breathe out of the Earth atmosphere.
Because I'm awesome.
What superpower do you think I should have?
Oh, that's hard. It's hard to give someone else power because you don't know what they want.
Probably,
Careful with how you say this. I could get mad.
You probably have to be like super speed for like the Flash. You can get everything done since you're always so tired.
strength.
Let's go with an oldie but a goodie. How about super speed?
Super speed. You know, I would love that.
How about power to control the weather? Seriously? Yeah. Because, like, people think, like, girls is, like, weak and stuff like that, and you could be, like, another Buffy, just, like...
Be like Storm. That'd be awesome.
I want invisibility so that I can hide from my producer. I want to be able to hide from my producer because he's annoying.
They can be.
We're all trying to hide from someone at work.
I was going to say that, but I ain't trying to say you was an invisible woman or anything like that. I was going to say she probably want to be invisible.
There you go.
Leigh Ann, we need to keep a closer eye on Tyler.
Why? I thought he's been doing great this season.
He keeps picking games for GoAv that aren't even finished yet. First it was Rust, and now it's whatever unfinished mess he picked to play this time.
Aren't you being a little harsh? It can't be easy to find good games under $20.
He could at least pick one that doesn't look like it's from 1985.
Let's just see what semi-finished game Tyler has in store for us on this edition of Games on a Budget.
Hey everyone, I'm Tyler Stackpole and this is Games on a Budget. Terraria was the first Minecraft copy to hit it big in recent years, and one of the developers from that game decided to go his own way and create Starbound. As you probably guessed, Starbound is a 2D mining game much like Terraria, but with a few added features that make it a much better game. You get to select between several different races, ranging from your standard human to the bird-like people called the Avians or the ape-like creatures called the Apex. The biggest feature that makes Starbound stand out is space travel. Rather than being stuck on one map, you get to explore a galaxy of procedurally generated planets, making each playthrough different from the last. You can pick up Starbound on Steam for $14.99. That's it for this edition of Games on a Budget. I'm Tyler Stackpole. Caleb, take me home.
So, do you remember when you said you wanted to be invisible?
Yeah, you people are just too much sometimes.
Oh, well, would it help if we all got together and had a battle royale from time to time to relieve the stress?
Yeah, I'd love to be able to smack Tyler without getting in trouble for it.
On second thought, why don't we keep the brawling to the Nintendo characters? And to find out what our best outlet would be, I made Super Smash Bros. The subject of this edition of Face Off. Let's check it out.
Face Off! Super Smash Bros. Melee versus Super Smash Bros. Brawl! Begin! think I did this face-off just because I got to play 2 of my favorite games ever.
False.
I got to play 3 of my favorite games ever.
What?
Melee is my all-time most played game. It's not even close. I love the physics in this game. The action is fast-paced and out of control. Brawl boosted the roster with 10 more characters and a fully loaded arsenal of assist trophies, items, and Pokeballs. The gameplay has a much different feel as it's a little slower and a little floatier than its GameCube counterpart.
Why can't we just combine the 2 games?
We can.
I love them both.
A group of developers have created a mod to Brawl called Project M. This is not an ordinary game hack. With the release of Project M 3.0, this is its own full-fledged title. The physics closely resemble those of Melee, and all 35 playable characters from Brawl are available and then some. Project M is updated frequently with new characters, costumes, and stages. When it comes down to it, between Melee and Brawl, the graphics are just better in Brawl. The physics and gameplay are debatably better in Melee, but Brawl is a more robust game in terms of characters, stages, and items. Both are fun beyond imagination. Neither of these games take the face-off crown, however, as Project M combines the best of both worlds in the greatest Smash Bros. Game to date. If you're still not sold, consider that Project M is free!
After the break, our movie snobs see RoboCop.
Later in the show, we have the full story on Flappy Bird.
And Rewind takes a new look at Deus Ex.
Don't go anywhere.
Like what you see here on Goofing Off? Then like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Crazy for Instagram? Send us a picture of you watching Goofing Off and we'll put you in the next show. Retweet us and you might win a chance to be on Goofing Off.
When the door of opportunity opens, what do you see? A landscape to pursue your passion and a rewarding career. A university with $120 million in student awards to lower the cost of education. A place where work opportunities during college lead to great jobs.
Akron has opened my eyes to so many opportunities.
New career options.
Akron gave me the motivation to make my dreams come true.
The University of Akron, where you get the greatest lifetime return on investment of any Northeast Ohio public university.
Move. Watch Goofing Off every day at 4 and 9:30 right here on ZTV channel 45-1. Also be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page.
Watch ZTV Sports Report daily at 3 and 8:30 p.m. at channel 45.1. And make sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and check out our latest videos on YouTube. ZTV Sports Report, your home for everything Akron Athletics.
You're watching ZTV.
Tyler, what are you doing?
Hey, Sartaj. We're fighting.
With who?
Tyler and I. You want to join?
Join what?
Well, I can't talk about it. That's the first rule.
First rule of what?
Of what I can't talk about. How hard is that to understand?
How can you join something if you can't even talk about it?
Look, it doesn't matter, man. Just, do you want to join?
I'm out.
I guess it's just you and me now. Come at me.
Welcome back. Hey, Leigh Ann, if I go down the line of duty for ZTV, do you think our boss would spend the millions to bring me back as some kind of super robo-host?
I wouldn't get your hopes up, but what could you possibly be doing that you would injure yourself to that point?
On this show? Probably be trampled by a horde of nerds at a midnight release or something.
Okay, honestly, the chances of that happening are like 0. Plus, I can't imagine you ever having the capabilities of RoboCop.
Oh, but I can always pretend. Y'all move, creep.
Hi, I'm Danny Mars.
And I'm David Helmick.
On this edition of Movie Snobs, we went to see the new RoboCop movie. And I personally
Is
thought—
Sam Jackson in every movie? Like, seriously, name one action movie he hasn't been in recently.
That's because Sam Jackson's a Jedi.
Is that a Star Wars joke?
Yes, it was. And if you interrupt me again, I'm gonna go Emperor Palpatine on you.
Well, Danny, I don't have to interrupt you.
What are you talking—
RoboCop, as you probably already know, is about a Detroit cop who was almost assassinated for trying to bust gun deals. After suffering 4th degrees and everything else associated with being in an explosion, he was turned into a robot/man by a bionics company in order to save his life.
There's not much to say about this movie, except for Sam Jackson's wig. It was pretty awesome. But don't be fooled, the trailer has a lot more action than the movie itself.
The company in the movie wanted him to be as effective as a robot, but emotional like a human. They soon realized that human emotion and robot indifference cannot coexist.
Somehow, he's overriding the system's priorities.
This movie was actually way more emotional than I expected. The middle 75% of the movie was him coming to terms with being a robot. I mean, the stuff about his wife was pretty heartbreaking, though.
Yeah, I know. I really hope his wife got her tetanus shot.
I don't care about all of that. There was no action in this movie whatsoever. They absolutely had to put Sam Jackson in this movie just to make it at all exciting.
Also, this movie definitely reinforces the stereotype to never trust the bald guy with the beard.
Or to never spend much money on a film directed by Jose Padilla.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
It seems pretty convenient that we review a game about a security guard enhanced by cybernetics right after the movie snobs saw RoboCop.
Oh, well, yeah, it's exactly what I had in mind the whole time.
But did you really?
Okay, well, no, but it looks like I'm a great producer.
Don't start that again, seriously.
All right, fine. Here's Deus Ex on this edition of the Goofing Off Rewind.
This is the director's cut of Deus Ex: Human Revolution. The bonus features include a behind-the-scenes documentary, a strategy guide that, sadly, can only be viewed on the gamepad, and creator commentary during cutscenes.
Human Revolution Director's Cut commentary. Here is Jean-François Dugas, the game director on the game.
The game centers around Adam Jensen, head of security at Seraph Industries, who gets thrown through a window, and apparently that qualifies him for a full-body cybernetic makeover.
Get us out of here!
Maybe this time you'll actually save people.
The game allows a degree of player choice via dialogue trees. This can range from how Adam approaches a mission,
I'm not looking to start a firefight in there, just neutralize them.
To hostage negotiation.
You're doing better than you think. You're still standing, and that's more than the hacker was expecting.
In spite of all this, there's a certain lack of depth in this generic cyberpunk first-person shooter. Adam Jensen didn't ask for his cybernetic enhancements, and I didn't ask for this game. While the player choice and director's cut extras were nice, the overused cyberpunk tone made the game feel a bit generic. This gets 3 goofs out of 5.
I never asked for this.
Do you think we're putting too much pressure on Caleb? I mean, reading those stories in 60 seconds can't be easy.
It's not, especially when there's always threat of bodily harm.
I think Danny may be having a little too much fun with these punishments.
If Caleb wants a real career someday, he's gonna have to get used to stressful work environments. Coworkers waiting around to beat you up is part of the job sometimes.
Okay, and with that, let's put 60 seconds on the clock and toss it over to Caleb with this edition of the Blender.
Put away your samurai swords, nerds. It has been announced that the next Assassin's Creed game will not be set in feudal Japan, as many hoped it would be. While Ubisoft Toronto executive Jade Raymond didn't give too many details, she said it would take place in her favorite time period. The show Heroes will be returning to the small screen once more with a 13-episode series event in 2015. The cast and story has not been revealed yet, but it will be great news for people still thinking it's 2006. Netflix has made a deal with Comcast to speed up its video streaming service for Comcast customers. While the details of the negotiation were not released, Netflix has stated that this is a mutually beneficial deal and blah 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 blah. Just put up more seasons of House of Cards, you turkeys. The Xbox One has received a price drop in the UK. The price is now £429, or the equivalent of $713 here in the US, after a $49 reduction. No word on whether there will be a price drop here in the US, but they need to release a Poor College Kid edition soon. And finally, the Oculus Rift developer has announced it will suspend sales of the Oculus Rift due to a shortage of components. Sony, however, is rumored to release their version for the PS4. That's this week's news, blended and ready for consumption.
Who's the turkey now? Who's the turkey now? Get it right.
When we come back, we list our top 5 robot movies.
And we feature Flappy Bird on Goofing Off's first investigative report.
We'll be right back.
Like what you see here on Goofing Off? Then like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Crazy for Instagram? Send us a picture of you watching Goofing Off and we'll put you in the next show. Retweet us and you might win a chance to be on Goofing Off.
When the door of opportunity opens, what do you see? A landscape to pursue your passion and a rewarding career. A university with $120 million in student awards to lower the cost of education. A place where work opportunities during college lead to great jobs.
Akron has opened my eyes to so many opportunities.
New career options.
Akron gave me the motivation to make my dreams come true.
The University of Akron, where you get the greatest lifetime return on investment of any Northeast Ohio public university.
Move. Watch Goofing Off every day at 4 and 9:30 right here on ZTV channel 45-1. Also be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page.
Watch ZTV Sports Report daily at 3 and 8:30 p.m. at channel 45.1. And make sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and check out our latest videos on YouTube. ZTV Sports Report, your home for everything Akron Athletics.
You're watching ZTV.
Welcome back. I think this is the perfect opportunity to let our viewers know that I'm now accepting cash offers for my phone.
You're still trying to sell that thing because it has Flappy Bird on it? Nobody's gonna buy it.
Not true. Some guy on eBay bought one for over $7,000, and he doesn't even have a TV show.
$7,000?
Honestly, I don't really get it, but if people are looking to buy, I'm willing to sell.
Well, lucky for you, we have the full story on the rise and fall of Flappy Bird. Let's take a look.
If you haven't heard of a small game that recently took over, called Flappy Bird, well, you're doing something wrong. Flappy Bird is a simple minigame created by Dong Nguyen for iPhone and Android devices that went viral during January, which led the game to be taken off the App Store in early February. The game itself is beyond simple. You tap the screen to make your bird flap, and you try to navigate through pipes and earn a high score. Unless you're me and, can't get past 10. The reason this game has been taken off the App Store is a mystery. Different sources report different things. The main theory is Nguyen didn't like the sudden climb to fame and took the game down to try to get back to a simpler life. Another is that Nguyen was receiving hundreds of aggressive and abusive tweets and emails about the game. Another is that he plagiarized some of the game's parts from Nintendo. On February 8th, Nguyen tweeted, "I can call Flappy Bird is a success of mine, but it also ruins my simple life, so now I hate it." From this, I take that he just wants to be a simple indie developer and not have his life taken over by his games. Flappy Bird has also been called addicting by most who play it. This may explain why the days after the game was taken down from the App Store, used iPhones with Flappy Bird on them were selling for thousands of dollars on eBay. No reports if any were actually sold. Also, since the game was taken down, hundreds of Flappy Bird clones have hit Apple and Google's app stores. So if you didn't get in on the original, you can still enjoy the spirit of the game by one of its clones. Personally, I recommend the Miley Cyrus one. For Goofing Off, I'm James Nutt, and I need to go improve my score in Flappy Bird. I hate this game.
Promised myself I wouldn't get emotional during this next segment.
Do zombies scare you that much?
No. The Last of Us was a beautiful, personal journey that I really connected with.
So you were scared.
Can't take it.
Well, here's our review of the Left Behind DLC for The Last of Us. Is he coming back?
Left Behind is the newest single-player DLC for The Last of Us, Naughty Dog's critically acclaimed post-apocalyptic game from last year. If you haven't played The Last of Us, you should really do that before playing Left Behind, and in fact, you should probably skip ahead in this review. The game tells the story of Ellie before her time with Joel traveling across the country. Ellie and her friend Riley are in the Boston quarantine zone and decide to have a little more fun before they part ways.
2 down. Full die!
The game jumps back and forth between Ellie and Riley, and Ellie's time with Joel after he gets seriously injured. The current day story involves Ellie trying to find medicine for Joel while searching through a creepy abandoned mall, and it can be incredibly scary and tense sometimes playing as Ellie, trying to find supplies while avoiding enemies. The Ellie and Riley story is pretty much just that, story. It's meant to be a more fun, uplifting, background revealing section than it is gameplay based. Speaking of gameplay, much of that gameplay that I loved from The Last of Us is still in Left Behind. The crafting system from the game is still the same and is still really cool. There are still different artifacts you can find that add to the story as well. There are also new infected plus human combat mechanics in which you can actually lure infected to attack humans and vice versa, making your life a little bit easier. It can also be a little tricky though if you get caught in the middle of them. Like The Last of Us, the story in Left Behind is fantastic. It is great to see that Naughty Dog can do a DLC that fits perfectly into the single-player story without feeling gimmicky or tacked on. I think the story they tell in Left Behind is smart, touching, and even funny.
What's a Facebook? Maybe it prints our faces in a book?
Left Behind has a great story that feels complete and fits into the tone of the actual game. The new gameplay mechanics feel really well done and add a new level of tension to the game. This is the first DLC in a long time that didn't feel tacked on in a last-minute effort to get more money. The only real negative I can think of for the game is that I wish it was a little longer, but that's just me being selfish.
Riley!
Other than that, Left Behind is almost the perfect DLC. I give Left Behind and The Last of Us 5 out of 5 goofs.
Come on. When have we ever gotten into trouble?
And now it's time for our top 5.
Since the new RoboCop was mediocre, we're listing our top 5 robot movies.
Starting us off at number 5 is Real Steel. Essentially just Rock'em Sock'em Robots the movie. It earns the number 5 spot for the nostalgia trip.
At number 4, we have iRobot. Will Smith taught us the laws of robotics and how a future of robots should work, as long as they don't go crazy.
Coming in at number 3, we have Terminator 2. When Arnold asks for your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle, do yourself a favor and just let him have them.
At number 2, we have Inspector Gadget. It's the same concept as RoboCop, just a bit more family-friendly.
And our number 1 robot movie is WALL-E. Telling a whole story with almost no dialogue is hard, but Pixar pulls it off with ease.
If you can't get enough Goofing Off, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Crazy for Instagram? Send us a picture of you watching Goofing Off, and we'll put you in the next show. Retweet us, and you might even win a chance to be on Goofing Off. Next time on the show, we rev our engines at the Cleveland Auto Show.
The Nerd Olympics returns with the trampoline dodgeball.
And we release our Flappy Bird-inspired music video.
So until next time, I'm Zach Kuzmic.
And I'm Leigh Ann Andriani.
And thank you for taking the time to goof off with us.
And can I just point out, I'm sorry, we're keeping them, but can I just point out that I did not have an accent on sometimes?
You didn't.
I know.
You're fine.
I know.
Let's do this.
How can, like, a person with no powers beat like an alien like Superman in like every time. But he do got kryptonite.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. To find out how you can make Emmy-winning media, visit the UA School of Communication online. ZTV. Make media. Make a difference.
When the door of opportunity opens, what do you see? A landscape to pursue your passion and a rewarding career. A university with $120 million in student awards to lower the cost of education. A place where work opportunities during college lead to great jobs.
Akron has opened my eyes to so many opportunities.
New career options.
Akron gave me the motivation to make my dreams come true.
The University of Akron, where you get the greatest lifetime return on investment of any Northeast Ohio public university.
Move. Watch Goofing Off every day at 4 and 9:30 right here on ZTV channel 45-1. Also be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page.
Watch ZTV Sports Report daily at 3 and 8:30 p.m. at channel 45.1. And make sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and check out our latest videos on YouTube. ZTV Sports Report, your home for everything Akron Athletics.